We approached Earth for repairs, got enhancements, coffee, and a full war fleet instead. The engines hummed weakly, struggling to keep the ship moving. Inside, the crew worked quietly, the air thick with tension and exhaustion. Captain Elias Ward sat in the bridge chair, his hands resting on the worn control panel. He stared at the holographic display showing Earth slowly growing larger on the screen. "We're almost there," he said quietly. His voice sounded more hopeful than he felt. "Almost there," repeated Lieutenant Mara Klein, her tone skeptical. She leaned against the doorway, arms crossed, and watched the crew moving around. Sparks flew from a loose wire as Technician Saul ran a quick repair. "If we even make it, this ship's barely holding together. One more hit and we're floating space debris." Elias didn't answer. He already knew the ship was fragile, but there was no other choice. They were low on fuel, supplies were running thin, and morale was near rock bottom. Somewhere behind the fragile exterior of Earth, there had to be help, and after months in deep space, they needed it badly. The ship's communications panel beeped, interrupting the tense silence. "Incoming transmission," said Saul, wiping grease from his hands. The bridge console flickered to life, showing a calm, blue-eyed human with a warm smile. "Welcome to Earth Orbital Station 112, the human said in perfect English, voice smooth and friendly. "We've been expecting you. Docking protocols are ready. Repairs, accommodations, and refreshments are prepared. We're happy you came." The crew exchanged glances. Elias raised an eyebrow. "Refreshments," he muttered under his breath. Saul snorted. "After 3 months of protein paste and recycled water, I'd take anything at this point." The captain pressed the comm button. "We're ready for docking," he said. The station's operator nodded, and automated docking clamps extended to gently grip the ship. The ardent horizon shuddered, not from impact, but from relief. As the crew disembarked, the station's vast corridors stretched before them, clean and bright. Unlike the harsh, mechanical feel of space stations they had visited in the past, this one smelled faintly of coffee and freshly polished metal. Humans in casual uniforms moved efficiently, greeting the crew with nods and smiles. "Come this way," a tall human said, leading them through the corridor. "Your ship will be repaired quickly. We also have accommodations prepared, and coffee." The crew froze. "Coffee." Mara let out a soft laugh. "They know the way to our hearts." They were led into a lounge area where tables were lined with steaming cups of coffee and plates of warm pastries. It was simple, but for the weary crew, it felt like paradise. They sank into chairs, each taking a cup and inhaling the rich aroma like it was life itself. Elias took a sip and allowed himself a small smile. "Maybe Earth isn't so indifferent after all," he said. As they ate, engineers and drones began inspecting the ship. Panels were lifted, wires replaced, and systems rebooted in a rhythm almost too fast to follow. Saul wandered down the corridor, his eyes wide as he watched drones lift heavy components effortlessly, their movements precise and graceful. "This is amazing," he whispered. "I've never seen anything like it." The humans overseeing the repairs noticed his awe and smiled. "We like to be thorough," one said. "No ship leaves without being fully functional, upgraded if necessary." "Upgraded?" Mara asked, raising an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" The human smiled without answering immediately, letting a small pause create a sense of anticipation. "Our gifts to guests are simple. We repair, we enhance, and we prepare. That is all." The crew exchanged glances. Elias' jaw tightened. He didn't like surprises, but curiosity stirred in his mind. The ship was being repaired faster than it should be possible. Perhaps this was one of those times when trusting humans was the right choice. That night, the crew rested in their rooms aboard the station. Each room was simple but comfortable. Beds with soft blankets, personal lighting that adjusted to circadian rhythms, and panels that displayed the calm view of Earth below. The planet was alive with light, oceans shimmering under the sunlight, cities sparkling like stars. Elias stood by the window, staring down. He felt a strange mix of awe and humility. Earth had always been a legend in human history, a homeworld shrouded in mystery. And yet here it was, alive and thriving, ready to help even strangers. The next morning, the crew gathered in the station's central hall. They expected to be briefed about repairs and supplies, but instead, they were introduced to a series of human-made devices designed to integrate with their own biology. Exosuits, neural boosters, and AI-assisted control panels waited patiently, sleek and quiet. Optional enhancements, the station leader explained. We offer them to all visitors. They improve reflexes, coordination, and efficiency. We've found they make long-term space travel safer and more productive. Mara looked uneasy. And if we say no, your ship will still be repaired, the human replied calmly. The choice is yours, no pressure. Elias studied the devices carefully. They weren't weapons, they were extensions of human capability. Something inside him stirred, a recognition of human ingenuity and preparation. We'll consider it, he said finally. Before the crew could process more, alarms blared throughout the station. Red lights pulsed in rhythm with the siren. A voice echoed through the hall. Warning, unidentified craft approaching the station. The crew rushed to the observation deck. In the distance, a small alien vessel moved erratically, clearly unaware of the station's presence. The humans remained calm, almost casual. Engineers tapped controls and small drones flitted to intercept the alien ship. Elias watched, breath caught in his throat. The alien craft fired a warning shot, expecting to intimidate the humans. The station's drones responded, not with violence but with a coordinated movement that disarmed the alien and brought it safely alongside the station. They handle this like it's nothing, Saul muttered. It is nothing to them, Elias said, finally understanding. Humans were prepared, organized, and precise. Their power wasn't just in weapons, it was in unity, coordination, and intelligence. They could face threats that would terrify even the most experienced galactic fleets. After the alien ship was secured, the station leader turned to the crew. Your ship will be ready soon, and when it is, there will be more than repairs waiting for you. Elias felt a shiver of anticipation. More than repairs, he asked. The human smiled. Patience. You'll see soon enough. For now, rest. Earth takes care of those who come seeking help. That night, as the crew slept, drones quietly continued their work on the ardent horizon. Panels were replaced, engines tuned, and systems enhanced. Each adjustment was subtle, almost imperceptible, yet the ship's performance quietly improved. Elias stood once more at the window, looking at Earth glowing below. He felt a sense of hope he hadn't known in months. They had approached Earth for repairs, expecting only survival. Instead, they had found hospitality, ingenuity, and perhaps the first glimpse of a power far beyond anything in known space. He didn't know what the next days would bring, but for the first time in a long while, he believed humanity could change the course of their journey, and maybe, just maybe, the galaxy itself. The ardent horizon gleamed under the bright lights of Earth Orbital Station 112. Its hull was polished, engines humming with quiet power, and every system running better than the crew had thought possible. But the most extraordinary changes were not in the ship, they were in the humans waiting for them. Captain Elias Ward stood on the observation deck, arms folded, staring at the enhancements laid out for them in the central hall. Sleek exosuits rested on polished platforms, neural interface helmets glimmered under the lights, and small AI devices buzzed softly, like they had minds of their own. Optional enhancements, the station leader had said. We offer them to all visitors. They improve reflexes, coordination, and efficiency. Elias turned to his crew. Mara Klein, ever skeptical, raised an eyebrow. And if we take them, we become super soldiers, she asked dryly. No, the human replied calmly. You become what you already are. Faster, sharper, more capable, nothing more. Saul, the young technician, grinned. "I don't care what it does, sign me up. I want to see how fast I can fix this ship now." The captain hesitated. Part of him wanted to refuse. He didn't like relying on things he didn't understand. But another part, the part that had seen the alien raiders tear through his defenses, knew that hesitation could be fatal. "All right," Elias said finally. "We'll try it, but carefully. No surprises." One by one, the crew stepped forward. Mara donned the exosuit first. It fit like it had been made for her, augmenting her strength without feeling heavy. Saul connected to a neural booster, and his mind felt instantly clearer, processing complex systems with ease. Elias watched himself being guided into an interface helmet. A soft hum surrounded his skull, and suddenly he could feel the ardent horizon in a new way, not as a collection of metal and circuits, but as a living entity responding to his thoughts. "Whoa," Saul whispered, staring at the control panel. "I can see everything. Every wire, every circuit, it's like the ship is speaking to me." Mara laughed, flexing her enhanced strength. "I feel like I could lift the entire station if I wanted to." Elias ignored the joking tone and focused. This was beyond mere upgrades. It was human ingenuity at its finest. Subtle, precise, and powerful. Earth wasn't just repairing ships. They were enhancing the very beings who operated them. "Let's run a test," the station leader suggested. "We have a simulation prepared." The crew followed him to a large observation bay. Before them, holographic displays flickered to life, projecting an entire sector of the solar system. Strange vessels drifted, some moving slowly, others faster than anything the crew had seen. "Treat this as a training exercise," the leader said. "React as you would in a real scenario." Suddenly, one of the alien scout ships from the previous day appeared in the simulation. Its movements were chaotic, unpredictable, but the crew, now enhanced, responded with clarity. Mara's suit reacted instantly, calculating trajectories and issuing commands through the neural interface. Saul's hands flew over the ship's controls, redirecting power and weapon systems with impossible speed. Elias, feeling the ship as an extension of himself, adjusted shields and maneuvering in perfect coordination with his team. The simulation ended in seconds. The scout vessel was neutralized without a scratch to the station or their ship. The crew stared at the displays wide-eyed. "That was unreal," Saul said. "I didn't even think we were that fast." "You've only scratched the surface," the station leader said. "Earth's enhancements are designed to bring out what humans are already capable of. You are faster, stronger, sharper, but you are still you. Your ingenuity, your decisions, your courage, those are unchanged. You cannot replicate them. That is what makes humans unique." Elias felt a thrill of pride. He had spent years navigating hostile space, relying on luck, skill, and courage. And here it was confirmed. Humans, even in isolation, were remarkable. Now, enhanced by their own ingenuity, they were something more. But before the crew could celebrate, the station's alarm system blared again. This time, the threat was not a single alien scout, but a fleet, fast, dark ships approaching the inner solar system. Their markings were unfamiliar, aggressive, and unmistakably hostile. Elias felt his chest tight. "How many?" he asked. "Too many to fight alone," Saul replied quietly, though his eyes gleamed with excitement. "Not alone," the station leader corrected. "You are not alone." The observation bay shifted, revealing the true secret. Hundreds of ships, gleaming silver and gold, orbiting Earth in perfect formation. Humans filled every bridge, every station, moving as one unit. Each vessel was ready, armed, and prepared, but it was the way they moved, like a single organism, perfectly coordinated, that made the crew catch their breath. Elias felt a strange mix of awe and fear. "Is this a fleet?" "It is Earth's fleet," the station leader said simply. "Always prepared, always ready. For centuries, humans have maintained this readiness. We do not act unless necessary, but when we do, we act decisively." Mara leaned forward. "All those ships controlled by humans." Yes, the leader said. Each one. Trained, enhanced, and coordinated. Alone, each human is formidable. Together, we are unstoppable. The alien fleet moved closer, weapons glowing faintly. Their intentions were clear. They expected an easy victory. They didn't know what humans were capable of. "Prepare the ardent horizon," Elias said. His voice was calm, but inside adrenaline surged. "We're joining the fight." The crew moved quickly, instinctive now in their enhancements. Mara's exosuit reacted to every command without hesitation. Saul manipulated the ship systems with perfect precision. Elias, feeling the ship like never before, coordinated their movements with the human fleet. The alien ships fired, but their attacks were easily dodged. The Earth fleet responded not with reckless fire but with elegant precision. They surrounded the alien fleet, cutting off escape routes, disabling weapons, and neutralizing engines, all without firing a single shot more than necessary. Elia's jaw dropped. "It's beautiful," he muttered. Saul grinned. "It's like watching humans dance, a deadly dance but beautiful." Within minutes, the alien fleet was immobilized, trapped by Earth's silent power. The ardent horizon, now fully integrated with its crew's enhancements, moved effortlessly among the larger ships. They acted not as a single vessel, but as part of the fleet, their reactions immediate, instinctive, and perfectly coordinated. When the alien commander realized defeat, it tried to negotiate. But the humans remained calm, waiting for the perfect moment to respond. And then, with a simple signal, they released the captured ships, showing mercy, but also undeniable strength. The crew of the Ardent Horizon stared at the calm, disciplined humans around them. They were not just powerful, they were creative, efficient, and humane. They understood warfare in a way that no alien species could match. Humans did not rely solely on weapons, they relied on ingenuity, coordination, and courage. The station leader approached Elias. "You see now why we prepared. You came seeking repairs. We gave you enhancements, and in return you have witnessed our readiness. Humans are not reckless, we are prepared, we are strong, and now so are you." Elias nodded, feeling a mixture of awe and pride. "We underestimated you," he admitted, "completely." "Many do," the leader said softly. "Few survive their underestimation, but you have potential. Potential to join, to contribute, and to explore alongside us. We value those who can think, create, and act with courage." Mara turned to Elias, her skepticism replaced by admiration. "I didn't believe it at first, but now I see it. Humans are amazing, not just the technology. The people, their creativity, their unity, it's unlike anything we've seen in the galaxy," Saul chuckled. "And to think we came here just for repairs and coffee." Elias smiled faintly. "Coffee and a lesson in humility," he said, "and perhaps a new mission." That night the crew rested again, but sleep was different. The enhancements hummed gently, reinforcing their bodies, minds, and connection to the ardent horizon. For the first time in months, fear and uncertainty were replaced by confidence and purpose. They were not alone, and now they were stronger. Above them, Earth's fleet remained vigilant, silent, calm, and ready. And the crew of the Ardent Horizon understood something fundamental. Humans were not just survivors. Humans were architects of the future, capable of turning desperation into power, weakness into strength, and uncertainty into opportunity. Elias looked out at the stars, a sense of wonder filling him. "We came for repairs," he whispered, "but we found humanity at its finest." And for the first time in a long while, he knew they would not just survive the galaxy. The ardent horizon floated silently beside Earth Orbital Station 112, now fully enhanced, fully repaired, and fully alive with possibilities. Its crew had changed in ways that were hard to describe, not just stronger, faster, smarter, but more connected to each other and to the ship itself. Captain Elias Ward looked over his crew as they prepared for the next step. Mara Klein adjusted her exosuit, testing its responsiveness, while Saul moved among the ship's systems, his fingers flying as he ran diagnostics with effortless speed. The crew had grown confident, and for the first time, Elias felt a true sense of hope. The station leader approached, his expression calm, his presence commanding but warm. "The enhancements and training were only the beginning," he said. "You have seen what humans are capable of alone. Now you will see what they can achieve together, and with you." Elias nodded. "We're ready," he said. A soft hum filled the observation bay as the human fleet moved into formation. Hundreds of ships, each sleek and shining, reflected Earth's sunlight in a dazzling display. The fleet was a symphony of motion, silent, coordinated, precise. Each ship moved like a single organism, anticipating the movements of the others and adjusting instantly. "Your ship will join us," the leader said. "Integration will be complete once you understand the rhythm of the fleet. You will fight, explore, and act as one." The crew followed instructions, stepping onto the observation deck where holographic displays projected the entire solar system. They could see the positions of every ship, the trajectories of countless objects, and the movements of alien scouts that had begun probing the outer planets. "Focus," the station leader said. "Your instincts, your enhancements, your minds, they are your greatest tools. Together you can face threats no single ship could withstand." Elias closed his eyes briefly, letting the neural interface synchronize him with the ardent horizon. He felt the ship respond, its systems attuned to his thoughts, his body, and even his emotions. The feeling was electric, a combination of power, clarity, and connection. "Fleet, initiate integration sequence," he commanded. The ardent horizon moved with the human ships, sliding into formation as if it had been built for this moment. Every crew member reacted instinctively, their movements precise and coordinated. Mara guided the ship with elegant efficiency. Saul adjusted power distribution in real time, and Elias managed the fleet interface, linking their ship to the larger system. It was the first time they had felt true unity, not just with each other but with something far larger than themselves. The Earth fleet was not just a group of ships. It was an extension of humanity's ingenuity, courage, and cooperation. A sudden alert interrupted their focus. Alien scouts had been detected approaching the asteroid belt near Mars. "They're testing us," Elias said calmly. "They want to see if Earth is vulnerable." "Let's show them they're wrong," Mara said, a determined edge in her voice. The ardent horizon and the fleet moved through the asteroid field with precision. The enhanced crew responded instantly to every challenge: debris fields, unexpected gravitational anomalies, and enemy fire. The alien ships attacked aggressively, firing bursts of energy that could tear ordinary vessels apart. But the humans did not panic. They anticipated every move, countering attacks with ingenuity and strategy rather than brute force. Saul laughed as he redirected power from one system to another. "This is incredible. It's like the ship is alive." "It is alive," Elias corrected. "And so are we, together." The alien ships attempted to split the fleet, hoping to isolate the ardent horizon. But the humans were prepared. They anticipated the maneuver, surrounding the aliens and neutralizing their weapons with pinpoint accuracy. One by one, the scouts were disabled, their engines shut down without destruction, leaving them drifting safely, a lesson in restraint as well as power. Elias watched, awestruck. Humans don't just fight, they teach, they adapt, they control the battlefield itself. After the battle, the crew returned to the station, greeted with applause and smiles. The station leader nodded at them. "You have performed admirably. You have learned that humans fight with skill, not recklessness, with intelligence, not fear. And you have proven yourselves worthy to stand among us." Mara shook her head, still catching her breath. "We came for repairs, and now we've fought alongside the most incredible fleet in the galaxy." Elias placed a hand on the ardent horizon's hull. "We didn't just fight," he said quietly. "We became part of something greater, something human." The station leader smiled. "That is the point. Earth does not seek to dominate. We seek to prepare, to strengthen, and to protect. Humans, by nature, are explorers and creators. When we combine our skills with courage and ingenuity, we can face any threat and thrive anywhere in the galaxy. The crew spent the following days learning the fleet's rhythms, exploring their enhanced abilities, and integrating fully with Earth's systems. Every exercise, every simulation, reinforced what they had already begun to understand. Human potential was limitless when combined with unity, preparation, and intelligence. One evening, as the crew watched Earth rotate beneath them, Elias reflected on the journey that had brought them here. They had come seeking repairs, expecting nothing more than survival. Instead, they had found a civilization ready not only to repair and enhance, but to empower, inspire, and lead. Saul raised a cup of coffee and a small toast. To Earth, to humans, and to us, enhanced humans. Mara smirked, raising her own cup. I never thought I'd fight alongside a human fleet, and now I can't imagine anything else. Elias smiled faintly. We have a new mission, he said. Not just to explore the galaxy, but to stand with humans, to learn from them, and to help protect the future of every species we encounter. We are part of something bigger now. The next day, the fleet received a new alert, an unknown signal from the outer reaches of the galaxy. Its source was powerful, intelligent, and potentially dangerous. The humans moved as one, the ardent horizon perfectly synchronized with them. Elias felt a surge of confidence. Let's see what humanity can do, he said, his voice steady. The fleet accelerated toward the unknown, engines glowing, shields humming, and minds linked in perfect coordination. Each ship moved with grace and precision, and for the first time, the crew of the Ardent Horizon felt truly unstoppable. As they entered the outer system, the alien threat revealed itself, a massive warship, older and far larger than any they had encountered. Its weapons glowed ominously, and its size dwarfed the Earth fleet's smallest vessels. "Stay calm," the station leader said over the comm. "Focus on strategy, not fear. Use your enhancements, your ship, and your minds. We will show them why humans are the future." The battle began with an almost serene precision. Alien weapons fired, but the fleet moved in harmony, dodging, countering, and disabling threats. The Ardent Horizon moved through the chaos like a living entity, its crew anticipating every danger, every opportunity, every weakness in the enemy lines. Elias could feel the Ardent Horizon responding instinctively. Each movement, each calculation, each decision flowed from them as one. Mara's exosuit allowed her to handle critical maneuvers, Saul's systems analysis prevented overloads, and Elias coordinated the fleet's tactics seamlessly. Hours passed, and slowly the alien warship's defenses fell. The humans did not crush it with brute force. They dismantled it with intelligence, creativity, and perfect coordination. At last, the enemy surrendered, their ships immobilized but unharmed. The Ardent Horizon and the fleet emerged victorious. Elias felt a sense of pride that words could not capture. Humans were not only strong, they were smart, compassionate, and fearless. They fought with purpose and defended with honor. And now, the crew of the Ardent Horizon had become part of that legacy. As they returned to Earth Orbital Station 112, the station leader greeted them. "You have done more than survive. You have become part of what humans represent: courage, creativity, and unity. Go forth into the galaxy knowing that Earth and humanity stands with you." Elias looked at his crew. They had changed. Not just enhanced, not just repaired, but transformed by the example of humanity. Together they had faced danger, learned new skills, and discovered something far greater than any technology: the indomitable spirit of humans. Saul smiled. "We came for coffee and repairs, ended up with enhancements, a fleet, and a purpose." Mara laughed softly. "Best cup of coffee I've ever had." Elias stood at the observation deck one last time, looking at Earth glowing beneath them. "We approached Earth for repairs," he said quietly. We got enhancements, coffee, and a full war fleet, but more than that, we got hope and a future. The crew of the Ardent Horizon had begun as weary travelers, seeking only survival. Now, they were part of a new chapter in human history, a chapter where courage, ingenuity, and unity could reshape the galaxy. And for the first time, Elias truly believed that humanity, and those who chose to stand with it, could thrive anywhere in the stars.